What's good, you guys? Rucker here, aka James. Just a second, we're gonna roll some music. Sweet, fantastic. Okay, welcome, you guys. This is the Season 3, Week 5 review for the A-League. Spencer normally does these, but he was out last week. He's out this week, and he might be out next week, but we're not sure yet. And if you haven't seen my stuff before, this is how we roll with it. We do a review of scores, the kill leaderboard, improvement of the week, surprise / upset / best read of the week. Something that either was off the wall or kind of brought a new angle to a mon, and then the feature battle. We've got a couple new things here and there, and also if for any reason, for timing or whatever, there won't be certain things involved, I will say that. In this week, the number 4 on the list, the surprise, upset, or best read, is not in this video. I was going to use something, but it's being saved for another time if the same thing occurs this week. Week 5 battles and scores. The biggest winners of Week 5 in the Moon Division are Pokemaster Mike, and from the Sun Division, Sam SJT. We're going to get right into these battles right here. The Tennessee Tyrannotars, coached by Bailey Perry, went 0-3 against the San Francisco 49tails, coached by Malik Pie. Now, it kind of crushed the dreams that both Pokemaster Mike and Bailey Perry had of meeting later on down the season, both being undefeated and having that kind of battle go on. But Malik brought the tech, he brought the battle, winning over Bailey Perry. BTB Raven and his Destin Lucarios went 0-5 against the Dallas Star Raptors, coached by Sam SJT. Sam put a lot of time and effort into prepping this week, into making sure he had everything down, and it definitely shows in that battle. The Dutch Strampas, coached by Thomas, went 0-4 against the Memphis Grimmsnarls, coached by Bunyan. Like we said before, Thomas's team either needs a change or a different play style to better enhance his chances of winning, make it harder to prep for. The DC Duraludens, coached by Spencer, went 0-3 against the Pittsburgh Poltergeist. Potion Seller stepping up his game, made a couple team changes, and is looking to make a turnaround from Game 5 on. Edu Rufus, coaching the Sao Paulo Dragonites, went 0-4 against Lux. Lux is new to the league, taking over for Ace Trainer, who unfortunately had to back out of the league. Avantheim Flugel, as I think how you pronounce this team, but I'm not sure. And I really hope that doesn't get me in trouble in whatever language that is. Den Haag Duramakas, coached by Cooley Kicker, clinch a 2-0 against the London Lux Rays, and coached by Saber. The Philadelphia Fampies, coached by Mark KJRT, lose to Pesky and his Ottawa Garchomps with an 0-2. But Pesky brought some game, and one of his mons went off this week, so that was pretty interesting to see. And then Pokemaster Mike reining in that 6-0 with his Los Angeles Spark Surfers against the Big Fat Groudons, coached by Ice. It's a huge win. But Ice either so far this season has won with a 6-0 or lost with an 0-6. So I don't know if it's a team or the way he plays or what's going on there, but if he's not winning 6-0, he's losing 6-0. Now we're going to go to the leaderboard. Now we're doing something a little bit different. Talk with Spencer about making a couple changes to this. We're not just going to go over where people sit from now on. We're going to go from where they were to where they are now. I'm kind of frustrated that I thought of it coming into Week 5 instead of starting it with Week 1. But hey, nobody's perfect, and this is a giant work in progress. Now Mike comes up from second into first with that huge win over Ice, going from +11 to +17. Bailey Perry drops a rank from first to second, going from +14 to +11. Pesky goes from 5th, jumping up to 3rd, going from +9 to +11. Funyun going from 6th to 4th, going from +4 to +8. Spencer going from 4th to 5th, losing his spot to Funyun, going from +10 to +7. Ice going from 3rd down to 6th, from losing those 6 points to Mike. Malik Pie jumps up 1 rank from +2 to +5, going from 8th to 7th. Coolie Kicker goes from 11th to 9th at -5 to -3. Sam SJT goes from 13th to 10th, -8 to -3. Mark goes from 10th, dropping down to 11th with his loss, -2 to -4. Lux, like we said, taking over for Ace Trainer, stays at 12, but increases his differential by 4, going from -8 to -4. Raven going from 9th to 13th, going from +1 to -4. Potion Seller coming up from last place to 14th at -15 to -12. Edu Rufus going from 14th to 15th at -14 to -18. And Thomas dropping into last from 15th, going from -15 to -19. With this being week 5 out of 10 weeks, this is the halfway mark. If people are going to make a change, it's got to be done next week or the week after, because then all changes are final. But people who are in the lower half, this is your time to bring up your game and shake up the roster to make sure that you make those playoffs. The week 5 kill leaders. The Poltergeist's Bulu claimed 3 lives from the DC Duraludens. Spark Surfer's Venusaur took out 4 Mons at the end, to clinch the win, the 6-0 against the Big Fat Groudons. Zamazenta took out 5 lives from the Fampies, and it really kind of shows that everybody really underrated Zamazenta, and that might come to hurt everybody in the A-League. Tornadus Therian from Lux really put in work against the Sao Paulo Dragonites, claiming 5 lives. And then Giratina from Sam SJT's Dallas Star Raptors really put in the work against the Destin Lucarios, and wiped out 5 of his Mons as well. Now, these are ranked, even though they're all 5-0, they're ranked the way they're ranked because of the win differential in that battle. So I think the Garchomps went 2-0, Lux went 4-0, and then Sam went 5-0, so that's why they're like that. Now, the overall kill leaders. Now, some things have changed and some things haven't. Mega Mens is still at the top at 12-1, but now Marshadow is also at the top, tied with 12-1. But Bailey Perry's Excadrill is not only in the top 10, not just the top 5, but he's in the top 3 with 11-2, which is kind of insane if you think about it, having 2 Mons in the top 3. Mega Metagross in at 8-2, Arceus Ghost in at 8-3, Lando Therian at 7-1, Venusaur at 7-1, Mega Houndoom at 7-1, Ho-Oh at 7-4, and Zamazenta coming in at 6-1. 5 of those from this last game alone. Now, also, you see that the Spark Surfers have 3 Mons at the top 10. 1 in the top 4, but 3 in the top 10. That's also a feat all its own. And Pesky and his Ottawa Garchomps have Mega Houndoom and Zamazenta, rounding out close to the bottom. So it's a pretty tight race right now, and anything could happen to take over as the kill leader. Improvement suggestions. Okay, this isn't an actual team change. This is a play style change. The Dragonites have suffered from hacks and a whole bunch of other things going on these last couple weeks, but also there are some things that definitely would have helped Edu Rufus best his opponents, and that's variation in his team. He's kind of stuck to similar things on his Mons for all 5 weeks. He has made some team changes, which helped, and he can no longer make any more drops. So that is kind of a bummer. I think I'm now that I'm actually recording, I don't remember, but I think that's the case. But things like making Dragapult special or using a defensive Xerneas really could have helped him these last weeks clinch a win over his opponents. And the longer he locks his mons into being certain roles, the more likely he is to lose in the future, because his opponents are really going to be like, okay, I know exactly what he's going to bring because he's brought this every time. So changing it up would definitely help him out a ton. All right. And the battle of the week definitely goes to Pokemaster Mike and Ice. All it took was one small simple thing, and it kind of snowballed Ice Master out of the match. We're going to play it right now because it's a 2-minute long video. Mike's Mini Sun team kind of sets up shop over Ice Master's team, and it kind of makes it super hard for him to effectively mount an offense or get going. You know, not just the Venusaur being super fast under the sun, but also Torkoal having Lava Plume, Sylveon having Mystic Fire, which counters both of its checks in Bronzong and Ferrothorn. And then even something like Snorlax having Heat Crash. Now, that landing outside the sun and in the sun is a little different, but Snorlax is a big fat boy. And the Heat Crash does damage based on how much you weigh, I guess, versus your opponent. So I don't know exactly how that calculation goes. I never actually looked at it. But, you know, they do a ton of damage here. Especially with the sun constantly getting up. Ice Master effectively sacking off this Articuno just to try to get rid of rocks while the Torkoal's in, and it kind of screws Ice Master through the rest of the battle. Once rocks come up again, they're up and they're in. So that's going to be super unfortunate. Making the obvious read on the Protect to get the rocks up. You know, Mike kind of seemed one step ahead from a certain point forward. This Audino is super annoying, but that's its job. The whole battle is to be annoying. But with Bronzong gone and Ferrothorn super low, he's kind of got to figure out a way to deal with all this stuff. That growth in the sun is huge because the amount of damage it outputs. You know, effectively doubling what stats get with what get his attack and special attack that get upped in the sun, allowing it to go maxed out on everything is kind of insane. As you can see here, I was trying to show the sets on everything, but they get cut off from the outside of the video. That's an oops by me. Sorry about that, Ice Master, that people couldn't really see what you're running for a team. But yeah, that's the review for this week. It's kind of crazy on how everything worked out for A-League this week. If you like this kind of content, please leave a like. Please leave me constructive criticism in the comments, what you like, what you don't like, pacing, anything that's anything. Spencer's link is still going to be in the description for this video. He helps a ton with all these. Even though he's not able to record, he is still putting in a ton of behind-the-scenes work to help me get these done and out. So I'm going to say stay safe. Don't loot. That's stupid. Looting and rioting is not protesting. I don't care what anybody says. Stay safe. Peace out for now, you guys.